Have you ever been watching your favorite TV show and suddenly realized, wait a minute, where did such and such a character go?
Hi, I'm Maggie Lawton. They said this is where I'd be living.
Bill.
Hey, Judy. Hi. What's the matter, sweetheart?
Matthews, come on. The guy's 63 years old. He wears a tribble on his head.
It's like one episode they're there, and the next, poof, gone without a trace. No goodbye, no explanation. It's just like they never existed. From Judy Winslow mysteriously vanishing from Family Matters to Chuck Cunningham being completely erased from Happy Days, TV history is full of characters who disappeared without a word. Some were quietly written out, others just forgotten. Today, we're diving into 10 characters who disappeared with zero explanation. What happened behind the scenes, and why did the writers act like these characters never existed? Well, let's find out. Where did they go? 10 TV characters that disappeared with no explanation. Number 1 is Chuck Cunningham from Happy Days. The whole concept of disappearing characters is often called Chuck Cunningham syndrome because of this very situation. You see, he was the oldest of the Cunningham children. He barely spoke, and one day he went upstairs and was never seen or mentioned again. Perhaps he tried to jump the shark and failed. Writers never really gave an explanation for it.
Started out with 3. We got rid of the oldest son. We didn't kill him. Gary used to tell the audience that when they asked whatever happened to Chuck, that was the character's name, Gary would say, well, he's on a 12-year scholarship to the University of Outer Mongolia. What was it?
And speaking of going upstairs and not coming back down,
Hey, Judy.
Hi. Daddy, you gotta help me. Mom will kill me.
Well, take it easy, sweetheart. I tell you what, we'll wait till your mama's in a real good mood, and then I'll explain things to her.
You're the best.
Judy Winslow, Family Matters. Same thing. The Winslow's youngest daughter wasn't given much to do after Urkel became the focus of the show. In season 4, Judy's seen walking upstairs, but never comes down. Nor was she ever mentioned again. But in a recently released episode of The Dark Side of Comedy, actress Jamie Foxworth, who played the character, said she was let go from the show with barely an explanation. And she said it really impacted her mental health as she grew up. According to that documentary, there was just no room for her. Victim of a numbers game, I suppose. Number 3, Mr. Turner from Boy Meets World. He's a pretty major character in seasons 2 through 4, and then the popular teacher got into a motorcycle crash and was never seen again. I seem to recall Mr. Turner was briefly mentioned a few seasons later with someone saying that he was on the other side of the school. But come on. But there's an update. It took nearly 20 years, but fans finally received closure on the fate of Mr. Turner on the Boy Meets World sequel series Girl Meets World, where it was revealed that he married the nurse who took care of him after the motorcycle accident. And he became the superintendent of the New York Board of Education, and he regularly hangs out with Corey and Topanga.
Too bad for you. I've got a great relationship with the superintendent of schools. How's your relationship, Matthew?
Okay, so why do I have to do anything? Mr. Turner and I go back a bit.
Topanga.
So,
Things that happen off screen. Number 4 is Mr. Edwards from Little House on the Prairie. Isaiah Edwards was a big part of the family show, appearing in the pilot and the first 3 seasons. Then, when season 4 began, Mr. Edwards and his entire family were gone, and no one mentioned it. Even weirder, a new family, the Garveys, were suddenly living in the Edwards house and getting involved in the Ingalls' lives in the same exact way that Edwards and his family had done. Now, in reality, Victor French had left the show to star in his own sitcom on a rival network, the poorly received Carter Country. Little House star and creator Michael Landon must have been really ticked off to not even address the sudden absence of the fan-favorite character. Victor French's sitcom over on ABC, Carter Country, only lasted 2 seasons, and eventually, Michael Landon brought the character back where he belonged, to Little House on the Prairie. Number 5 is Ben Geller on Friends. Okay, he wasn't one of the main characters on the popular 90s sitcom, but he was Ross's son, and it was odd that the kid completely vanished after the birth of Emma. Now, I think it would have been funny if they just had a brief scene where Chandler turned to Ross and sarcastically asks, "Where the heck is your son?" Number 6, Tori Scott, Saved by the Bell. Tori Scott arrived at Bayside during Saved by the Bell's final season. She only appeared in episodes without Kelly and Jesse, and was non-existent at Graduation and the follow-up TV movies. Now, there's actually a logical behind-the-scenes explanation for all this. and it's called the Tory Paradox. And it's kind of strange, but it makes sense. You see, Saved by the Bell had finished filming its final season, with the gang's graduation from Bayside to serve as the series finale proper. But then NBC surprised everyone and ordered 8 more episodes. The gang all agreed to come back except for Tiffany Amber Thiessen and Elizabeth Berkley, Kelly and Jesse. So, to fill that void, producers brought on Leanna Creel to play tough girl Tori Scott. But to make things more confusing, rather than just show the entire season in the order that it was filmed, NBC decided to alternate between the originally filmed episodes and all the new ones that were filmed with this new character, Tori Scott, and without Kelly and Jesse. This all came to be known as the Tory Paradox, where in TV land, Kelly, Jesse, and Tori, they all went to Bayside High together at the same time, but just never happened to interact. Number 7 is Seven from Married with Children. In Season 7, the Bundys took in a distant family member, a little kid named Seven. Audiences did not really take to him, and he was written out after 1 season and barely ever mentioned again. I think he was supposed to have taken place in a dream world. I don't know. Number 8 is one I didn't remember until I was doing research for this. The character of Maggie Lawton on A Different World, played by Marissa Tomei in one of her earliest roles. Maggie Lawton was a major character in the Cosby spin-off's first season. She was a military brat and a journalism major, and she was a friend to Denise Huxtable.
Hi, Denise Huxtable, and this is Jaleesa Vincent.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, but we weren't expecting you till tomorrow.
Oh, I was going to come tomorrow, but I decided to come today so I could get settled.
Makes sense.
I should have been here this morning, but my plane was late and I missed my bus. So I had to call my great aunt in Roanoke, and she picked me up. But you know how aunts are. They always say you're too thin. So she took me out to lunch, and we started talking about the family and old times. And finally I had to say, Aunt Gemma, I have to get up to college. So she took me up and she dropped me off.
But the character did not return for Season 2 and was never acknowledged. Number 9, a fan favorite, Cousin Oliver, Brady Bunch. Actually, this is a perfect example of adding a young cast member to revive a faltering show, only to have it blow up in your face. The Brady's Cousin Oliver was gone after 1 season without so much as a peep. And finally, we'll talk Tina Pincotti from That 70s Show. Yeah, because in the first season of That 70s Show, the Donna character had a younger sister named Tina, played by Amanda Fuller. She made just 1 appearance in a brief scene.
Good evening, Donna. Which of these ladies are easy?
Donna, some of your creepy friends are using Dad's stereo.
You guys, no one's allowed in the house.
Hello, pretty lady.
Hi.
She's not a pretty lady. She's my sister, and she's 14.
You know, in my country...
It's illegal here.
Oh, I see.
And then was never seen on screen again. Now, apparently the showrunners decided that they wanted Donna to be an only child. There was a little bit of acknowledgement, and it came at the end of the Season 2 episode Vanstock. You see, in a spoof of soap opera cliffhangers, a dramatic voiceover announcer asks, "And whatever happened to Midge's daughter, Tina?" So, do you remember when these TV characters disappeared? Who are some others that might belong on this list? Comment below and follow for more TV and movie nostalgia.